Hey, Vicky, how's it hanging, girl? Whoop-dee-doo, it's me, Louise. You know, your childhood friend and favorite person in the whole wide world. Favorite person in the world? Like hell, seriously? You must be dreaming if you think that. Sure, we might have known each other as kids, but I wouldn't go as far as calling us friends. I regret the fact that we were even acquaintances, so the words Louise and friend most certainly do not go in the same sentence. How can you be deluded enough to believe I actually like you? I mean, geez, you were annoying even when we were kids. You say all that, my dear, but actions speak louder than words. You didn't block my number, did you? Which can only mean you think of me as your best friend in the whole wide world and can't bear the thought of a life without me in it. Believe me, the thought of a life without you in it sounds like paradise. No, the only reason I didn't block you yet is because I know you're so screwed in the head you'd go insane if you couldn't check up on me with your trivial, nonsensical messages every 5 minutes. I promise you, if the thought of you doing something crazy if I blocked you wasn't so terrifying, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Jeez, Vicky, how about you, take a chill pill for once? Anyways, I wanted to ask about that guy you started dating lately. I heard the rumors. Is it true? If so, I can't believe the Vixter finally got a boyfriend. How long has it been now? You know how long it's been, and why exactly has it been so long? Or did you forget about how you got involved with my last boyfriend 2 years back and ended up causing a bunch of drama that led to us breaking up? Huh? No recollection. Nope, I don't know a thing about why he dumped you after a steamy romp with a mystery girl down the alleyway by your house. Oh, so you're still proud of it then? You really are beyond saving. How many of my boyfriends have you interfered with by now? I literally lost count of how many of my relationships you screwed up. But it won't be happening again because I'm finally free of you. It was hard for me to muster up the motivation to even look for a guy with the thought of you sticking your nose in and messing things up for us, niggling away at me in the back of my mind. Anyway, will that be all? I don't want to speak to you. Hey, wait, I'm not done yet. There's so much I want to know. I have some other things to deal with, and my life is pretty hectic right now. Hey, Vicky. It's about that stuff we talked about before. About your boyfriend? For God's sake, Louise, what do you want now? I have enough on my plate without you bugging me. I don't need this right now. You know how much I hate you, don't you? Don't you? Please, just leave me alone. The only reason I reply to your messages at all is because I know there's a pretty strong chance of you coming to my house and causing a scene if I don't. But believe me, you're the last person on the planet I want to speak to. The truth is, you're not even worth a second of my time, and I'd really, really appreciate it if you'd leave me alone. This is exactly what you always do. You have such a funny way of insulting me. It cracks me up every time. You're the most unintentionally entertaining person I have ever met. Huh? What? Like, it makes me want to annoy you just to see what kind of crazy reaction I'll get. You're like the nerds in school who I used to get into trouble by quietly annoying them in class until they flipped out and got told off by the teacher. You seriously have a personality disorder. How can you not realize what a despicable human being you are? It's like, will she be hot? Will she be cold? Will she be needlessly and hilariously aggressive? Every time I speak to you, it's a roller coaster of emotions because I never know what kind of Vicky I'm gonna get. My God, you really are a pain in the ass. Fine, if that's how it is, I'm only gonna reply to you when I feel like I absolutely have to from now on. Huh? And so what if you do show up at my house? It just dawned on me that all I have to do is not answer the door and it's like you magically don't exist. If you do anything crazy, I'll just call the cops. Problem solved. The cops? As usual, you don't appear to have anything serious to talk to me about this time either, so we're officially done here. Wow! Stop being so cold, you big meanie! This is no way to speak to your childhood bestie and favorite person in the whole solar system. Let's chat some more, Vicky. Vicky! Besides, I want to hear all about your new boyfriend. Damn you, Vicky! Hey. So, you really do have a new boyfriend, huh? I had a feeling it was true. So it's him, is it? He is so my type. What should I do? I can't help but feel a mega hunk like him is wasted on someone like you. Is it finally time to make my move? Vicky! You just gonna carry on ignoring me? As your childhood best friend and favorite person in the whole universe, that makes me feel super duper mega lonely. But what you don't know is that blanking me like this has cost you something you hold very dear, something you'll never be able to take back. You don't know what it is yet, but you will soon. Should I give you a hint? It's about the thing you seem super reluctant to talk to me about. You know the one. You'll be happy to know my investigation proceeded swimmingly, and I found out everything I needed to. Who knows? The day I can finally reveal the good news could be just around the corner. I mean, I'd love to tell you if you finally replied to my messages, but we both know you're too damn stubborn to be an adult about this. Oh well, get excited, girl, because you're in for the surprise of a lifetime. You are so gonna want to reply when you hear this. Listen, Vicky, the thing is, I did it with your boyfriend. He was super forward with me. He really is macho, huh? Me and him have such amazing chemistry you wouldn't believe. It's like we were made for each other. And guess what? He says he prefers me to you now. He said, baby, I'll never let you go until the day we both die. With this hypnotized, spellbound look on his face. Isn't that romantic? I've been wanting to do this for ages. You have no idea how good it felt to hear him say that. Sorry for stealing your boyfriend again, loser. Huh? Hello? Can you read? I just said your boyfriend told me he likes me more than you. Louise, I don't have a boyfriend. Huh? I'm replying to you now because I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, and I'm mildly concerned you might have done something you might end up regretting. Seriously, who are you talking about? Oh, stop it, Vicky. I know that hunk you're always with is your boyfriend, so there's no point in trying to hide it. Who I'm always with? You always walk with him before and after work, right? I've seen you together. That was until recently. I bet he stopped talking to you all of a sudden, right? Am I right? That's because he's been spending all his time staying at hotels with me. Your eyes would pop out of your head if you knew about all the steamy fun we've been having together. And that's not all. When I asked him about his job, he said he was the son of the president of the company you guys both work at. There was me thinking I was just stealing your boyfriend, but I accidentally bagged myself a future CEO. I never cease to amaze myself. Anyway, now I know how rich he's set to become. I just have to marry him. Don't get in our way, okay? I know this is gonna suck big time for you, but it's time to accept you weren't good enough and move on. This guy you've been seeing, is his name Kelvin by any chance? Yep, like I even need to say it. You know exactly who I mean. Why ask me that, you dummy? Don't pretend you didn't know. Louise, I need you to calm down and listen to me. What?
Kelvin used to be my stalker.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. He is the son of our company's president, and it is looking like he's going to be the new CEO one day. But that doesn't make him any less dangerous.
Huh? Dangerous? What do you mean? Oh, wait a sec. I know exactly what this is. I get it. Must be painful to have yet another boyfriend stolen by me. But our souls are connected now, which means I know him better than anyone. So your desperate lies aren't gonna wash with me. My Kelvin, dangerous? Give me a break. I've never heard anything so ridiculous.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah. If you have the time to be jealous over my boyfriend, why not do something more productive with your grief and look for a new one of your own? Yo, Vicky, where do you think I am right now? You'll never guess. I'm in Guam. Kelvin brought me here on a vacation. Also, I quit my job. Me and Kelvin getting married is pretty much set in stone at this point, so I figured there was no sense in me carrying on working my office cubicle job. When I told him I was bored with all this new free time I had on my hands, he brought me on vacation to Guam. Can you believe what a sweetheart he is? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you can. He used to be your boyfriend. Anyway, that's not all. Guess what? He paid for us to stay in the VIP suite at the top of the Duples Group Hotel. Oopsie. Looks like me and your ex are madly in love with each other and set to spend a week of steamy romance in luxury paradise. I would never have imagined my plan would go this well in a million years. Sucks to be you, huh, Vicky? I'm the happiest girl in the world. Vicky, help me! I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I never expected this to happen. No. Vicky, please, this is terrifying.
Shut up. You're making my phone buzz like crazy and it's annoying me. Let me guess, your relationship isn't going as well as you thought it would?
Our relationship? No way, I broke up with Kelvin ages ago.
Oh?
I found another guy on a higher salary than him, so obviously I did what any girl would do in that situation and started dating him instead. But Kelvin won't stop following me. Wherever I go, he's there. Things were going so great with my next husband candidate. Or at least they were, until Kelvin showed up while we were out to dinner and caused a huge scene in front of everyone and screwed everything up. He is ruining my life. I spend every waking moment in fear of what he'll do next. What the hell is with him? He's actually deranged.
Good grief, I knew this would happen.
Huh?
I told you he was a stalker. I told you clearly and explicitly that he was stalking me and you chose to ignore it. How can you act surprised when he turns out to be a clingy weirdo?
Wait, what? You were being serious about that?
Why else would I say it?
I thought you were just bad-mouthing him to get revenge on me because you were salty about being dumped.
Whatever. From my perspective, this can only be a good thing. Thanks to you luring him away, he seems to have totally given up on me. He hasn't bugged me in weeks now. You have no idea how grateful I am for what you've done for me, Louise. He was making my life a living hell.
What? But why didn't you tell me this before I got involved with him?
I did. I told you he was dangerous. Go on, scroll up and look through the messages. It's all there. You're the one who ignored me and insisted you knew him better than anyone. You have no one to blame for this but yourself. How does the saying go? You made your bed, now lie in it.
Oh my God. Fine, you were right. I admit it. You can have him back now. You will take him back, won't you?
Excuse me?
If you can tempt him back into your arms, he's sure to leave me alone. Don't you think that's a good idea?
Tempt him back into my arms? What the hell are you talking about? We were never dating to begin with.
Huh? So why were you together every single day? How can a guy and girl spend every single day together and not be dating? That's just weird.
We weren't together. He was following me for the millionth time.
What?
We got put on the same team on a project at work a few months back. I guess he took a liking to me because he hasn't left me alone ever since. Well, until you came along and saved my butt, that is. Maybe in his mind he really was my boyfriend, but I can assure you, in reality, he most certainly was not. To me, he was nothing but a source of stress and a royal pain in the ass.
Well, in that case, you must know how I feel. Help me.
Nope.
Why not?
Because I despise you. Even in spite of that, I was still kind enough to try and warn you. It's not my fault you ignored me. I have no obligation to help you anymore. Get out of the mess you made by yourself.
Oh my God! Vicky, I can't do this anymore. What should I do? Does this kind of crap actually happen outside of movies? Please respond, Vicky. I am begging you. I'm barely eating or sleeping with all the stress this psycho is putting me under. I know you'll help me if you know how bad my situation is. You're a kind person, aren't you? I'm serious. This is bad. I'm pregnant with Kelvin's baby. Hello? What should I do? You're the only person I have to rely on. My parents are no use. They divorced a while back when they both found out they were cheating on each other, and they're locked in a vicious divorce battle right now and don't even have time to talk to me. I don't have any brothers and sisters. I don't speak to any of my relatives. You're the only one I can rely on. My childhood friend, Vicky, please. I thought I was your favorite person in the world. I am begging you to help me. I'll do anything. Vicky, I'm begging you. Please respond. Vicky!
I was in the middle of a drinking party with my work buddies when Louise started spam calling me. Due to a funny coincidence, Kelvin, the source of all her recent problems, also happened to be there. And in an even more amusing coincidence, my coworker, who was sitting right next to me, unintentionally caught a glimpse of the "Kelvin got me pregnant" message. By this point, my coworker was wasted, and before his rational brain could stop him, he yelled, "Kelvin, Louise is pregnant!" at the top of his lungs in front of all of our coworkers, causing an epically embarrassed Kelvin to make a dash for the exit and disappear faster than you can say, "Oopsie." I'm not so clear on the details of what happened next, but what I do know is that Louise and Kelvin got engaged the very next day. At a glance, you might be forgiven for thinking Louise is marrying him for the money, what with him being the CEO's son and all. But in reality, the drinking party was actually a farewell send-off for Kelvin, who got demoted and transferred to another branch after being found to be abusing his managerial position by taking bribes at work. Meaning any hopes he had of becoming CEO were dashed against the rocks in a heartbeat in magnificent and hilarious fashion. I suspect his dad, the CEO, would rather have fired him, but the president's son being fired for accepting bribes would have been a PR disaster. So he opted to demote him to an irrelevant position at a rural company branch instead. Word has it that he took a major salary hit, which means the luxury lifestyle Vicky dreamed of will remain but a dream. The reality of her mistakes must have bared down on her heavily when she realized she was set to spend the rest of her life in financial austerity with a stalking weirdo in a small house built in the middle of nowhere.
Christy, are you there? Did the wedding invite arrive yet?
You didn't get back to me on whether you'd be coming or not, so I had no choice but to message you. Huh? What the? Listen to me, Mel. I already made it perfectly clear I had no intention of coming from the get-go, didn't I? Why would you go out of your way to send an invite when you already knew what the answer was? Wow, what am I even reading? This is your own brother's wedding we're talking about here. Of course you're coming. What about your duty to your family? What with the both of your parents having passed away, you'd be the only member of Kyle's family there. Are you really going to let him be all on his own like this? Don't you feel bad for your little brother? I don't need to be lectured about not coming to the wedding by the person who made me want to not come to the wedding in the first place. Besides, Kyle won't be on his own. He'll have you, your family, and his friends there with him. Huh? How did I make you not want to come to the wedding? What are you even talking about? Did you really think I didn't know? Oh, I know what this is about. Being a high school dropout really bothers you, doesn't it, Kirsty? Huh? It's fine, babe. You don't need to worry about that. It's a triviality. Anyway, we don't need you to have brains. Me and Kyle graduated university with flying colors after all. So we've got the intellect and achievement bases covered. Most of my family graduated university too. I totally get why you might feel ashamed and embarrassed about being a high school dropout. But honestly, you don't need to. We're not judging you for it, I promise. We're open-minded and accept people from all walks of life and backgrounds. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, that settles it. I'll put you down on the attending list. You can put me on whatever list you like. The bottom line is I'm not coming, and that's final. Yeah, whatever. Quit fooling me around already, Kirsty. You're obviously going to be there to support your little brother. Wow, you seriously don't get it, do you? Have you even realized why I don't want to come in the first place, or did it go straight over your head? Or are you doing this on purpose to tick me off? Yeah, whatever. Ugh, would you quit being so immature already? Anyway, you can say whatever you like. I'm not coming, and that's that. I amaze myself with how clever I am sometimes. It's no surprise I graduated university with brains like these. What are you talking about? I successfully switched jobs to something with better prospects and better pay. You switched jobs? Let's just say some things happened at my old job and I had to quit. I knew me and Kyle would be moving to a different town after the wedding anyways, so I figured I'd use me leaving the old place to find something more local with a more convenient commute. And guess what? A major global company just made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm the best. I doubt a high school dropout like you could ever accomplish anything like this. Wow, really? You actually got an offer that fast? You have no idea how hectic it was to find time to fit the interview in with the preparations for the wedding. I felt like I was barely getting time to eat, but boy, am I glad I went. I take it you changed your plans to become a full-time stay-at-home housewife then. Huh? I heard about you bragging to everyone about how you were going to quit your job when you got married because my brother Kyle's filthy rich due to being a top executive at one of America's most prestigious donut companies. That was... Oh, it's fine, Mel. You don't have to try and hide it or make excuses. I already know the reason. Huh? Anyway, I need to head back to work now, so... yeah, bye. I'm not sure I like your tone, Kirsty. This isn't over. Oh, and before I go, I know you can be slow and forgetful, what with being a high school dropout and all, so allow me to remind you one more time. You're absolutely, positively, definitely, incontrovertibly, without a shadow of a doubt, coming to our wedding next month. And don't you forget it. It's gonna be a blast, and we wouldn't dream of celebrating without you there to share in our joy. Sis? Like, hello? The wedding's about to start, you know. Hurry up and get your ass down here. What are you talking about? Like I need to spell it out. Mine and Kyle's wedding is about to start, doofus. Oh, was that today? What? Of
course it's today, and you know it. Quit playing dumb. I know you left the house wearing your best clothes this morning, so don't even try to hide it.
That reminds me, I heard you moved into one of those apartments that was for sale in my neighborhood. I'm guessing that's how you appear to have been tracking my whereabouts. Jeez, you know, Mel, I was hoping you'd move as far away from me as humanly possible so I'd never have to deal with you again. But you had to go and move in practically next door to me, huh?
Hey, wait a sec. No way. Did you get the wedding venue wrong?
Huh?
The wedding venue. Do you actually know where it is? We're doing it with a company called Matrimonial Magic Makers at their main wedding hall on 5th Street.
Matrimonial Magic Makers? Oh, wow, I see.
I'm guessing from your response. I knew it. Did you mix up the venue for your own brother's wedding? I guess it can't be helped. I should have written the invite in crayon so even a high school dropout like you could understand it.
I'm pretty sure I already made this clear, but I had no intention of coming to the wedding to begin with. So there was no need for me to check where it was being held.
Huh?
I never planned on coming, so why would I waste my time?
Waste your time? Mine and your brother's wedding is not a waste of time.
I didn't bother to look at the date either. I'm at work today and I have a bunch of meetings with several important clients. That's the only reason I'm dressed especially smartly. Gotta make sure I leave a good impression, you know?
Oh my god, are you serious?
Hang on a sec, were you trying to pull a trick on me by intentionally writing the wrong wedding venue on my invite so I'd show up at the wrong place? You wouldn't do something so childish, would you, Mel?
No way!
I hit the nail on the head, huh? But now that I think about it, if you're getting married today, I take it you'll be absent from the new employee training session today then?
What the hell?
Today was supposed to be your first day at your new job, wasn't it? We generally train up new employees for the week before they officially start. But since you got hired outside of our usual hiring season, the plan was to train you up officially starting from your first day. Today. You were made aware of the schedule over text and email, Mel. There was no reason you couldn't have let us know you wouldn't be able to make it.
But it's a Sunday today.
Well, the industry we work in isn't as subject to the weekday-weekend cycle as most others, which means a good chunk of our departments run just like normal on Sundays.
What?
It just so happens that your department is one of the many that work weekends. This, in combination with the fact that you were made aware you were supposed to be here, means there's no excuse for your absence. My coworker, the guy in charge of providing the newbie training, just sent me a message. The training course for our midterm recruitment newbies starts today. Can you believe one of them didn't show up on her very first day? Geez, Kirsty, where do we find these people? I won't send what came after that, but needless to say, he is furious.
I think I did get some kind of training schedule over mail. Wait, are you telling me that was actually the schedule? I thought the part where it said I was in today was a mistake.
If you thought it was a mistake, why didn't you make an inquiry? Surely that would have been the reasonable thing to do in this situation.
'Cause who the hell works on a Sunday? I figured it must have meant Monday, so I just ignored it. I was ready to come in tomorrow.
Would you mind bearing with me for a little while, Mel? Thanks. I just checked with my coworker, and it turns out your shift today most definitely wasn't a data entry mistake.
Huh? How the hell would you know that?
Because my boss received a copy of the same training schedule that was sent out to all the newbies, and he just showed it to me.
Huh?
There are about half a dozen newbies starting today, and a few of them are going to be assigned to my department, which means my boss has access to all of the relevant materials.
Wait, what the... Hang on a sec. Your boss? I thought you seemed weirdly knowledgeable about the inner workings of the company. Hang on, are you...
Yep, bingo. I take it the penny finally dropped then? I work as a full-time employee at the company you received a provisional offer at.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Don't get me wrong, I have absolutely nothing to do with HR. Which means I was astonished when I found out my little brother's soon-to-be wife just got assigned to my department. Anyway, we'll have to get this situation sorted out soon. What's it gonna be, Mel?
What do you mean?
Whether you go through with your wedding is, of course, entirely up to you. But you should know it'll mean going down on the system as an absence without notification on your first day of work, no less. Basically, it's going to mean you failed to attend the first day of your mandatory employee training course without good reason. And since the offer you received was provisional, is all but guaranteed to mean your chances of getting a full-time contract are pretty much zero.
I won't fall for this. I know you're trying to trick me.
Excuse me? Trick you?
It's so obvious. I can read you like a book. This is clearly nothing but a huge crock of bullshit you cooked up in desperation to avoid the shame and embarrassment of admitting you got the venue for your own brother's wedding wrong. This is why you can't trust a high school dropout with anything.
Well, you're free to interpret this whole situation like that if it makes you feel better, but I think you're aware of how ridiculous the situation that I'd make something like this up is, Mel.
No, it makes perfect sense. Anyway, this is your fault for not giving mine and your brother's wedding your blessing in the first place. If you would have just fulfilled your goddamn duty as his sister to begin with, none of this would be happening.
How exactly do you work that one out? Your wedding and today's newbie training have nothing to do with each other. Even if I had gone to the wedding, you would have still been expected to be in today as long as you didn't inquire about your misunderstanding over which day it was on.
So why won't you come to the wedding? You're the only family Kyle has left now that your parents are dead.
Are you really gonna make me explain it to you?
Yes, because none of this makes any frickin' sense.
For real. Like, are you being serious right now? Whatever. You know what? It seems like you genuinely don't understand. Fine, it can't be helped. My brother Kyle was originally engaged to Michaela, your older sister, right? But you stole him from her by having an affair with him behind her back.
So what? What's your point? Me and Kyle love each other, and that's all that matters. Who are you to try and stand in our way by dragging up the past like this?
I'm not holding the fact you and my brother developed feelings for each other against you. It was the letting it develop into a full-blown affair while he was still engaged part that was despicable. Any decent human being would have waited until he'd broken off the engagement, or simply let go if he wasn't willing to.
Huh?
Naturally, I think you're despicable after demonstrating your absolute lack of virtue and moral fiber by tempting my brother into having an affair with you when you knew full well he was engaged to your sister. But I am also disgusted with my brother for meeting you halfway. If he has half a spine or a modicum of decency in him, he would have told you where to stick your seedy solicitations faster than you could say seedy two-bit whore. Which is why I was obviously never going to show up to the wedding, and to be honest, why I never want anything to do with either of you again for as long as I live. Besides, I already said all of this to Kyle. He knows I despise him and was never under any illusion I'd be at the wedding. So it genuinely baffles me that you didn't seem to get the message.
Huh?
You see, Kyle and I lost our parents in a traffic accident when I was still in high school. He was still in elementary school at the time, so I had no choice but to drop out so I could take care of him. I gave my everything to give him the best shot I possibly could at making something of his life. And how did he repay me? By coldly betraying your sister, one of the loveliest, most kind-hearted people I know, in the cruelest, most hurtful way possible.
Huh?
Anyway, Mel, it's time to make a decision. What's it going to be? Shall we go with an unpermitted absence from your first day at work and the beginning of your training course? Hello? Are you there?
Why isn't there anybody here?
Huh?
I was messaging you in the bride's waiting room this whole time. I could hear some noise coming from the main hall around 20 minutes ago, but it was distracting me from our conversation, so I just locked the door and carried on talking to you. But I just got a message from Kyle saying nobody showed up to the wedding. Forget my friends, even my family and relatives didn't bother showing up. Where is everyone?
Oh, I see. I wondered why you suddenly stopped replying. How would I know why no one showed up at your wedding? I didn't even know where it was being held or which day it was on, remember?
But this makes no sense. There were supposed to be at least 30 people coming.
And did you receive return letters confirming their attendance after sending out invites to all 30 of them?
Of course I did. Like I'd forget something so simple. What the hell do you take me for?
I see. Well, in that case, and this is just speculation, but is it possible they all agreed to cancel at the last minute behind your back?
What? Why the heck would they do something like that? That's crazy!
I won't say exactly who I heard this from. Let's just say it was a friend's brother's dog. But the word on the street is that you've always had a habit of stealing other women's boyfriends, and that you're not exactly the most popular girl in town, even among the people you call friends. Apparently everyone's been pretty cold towards Kyle since word got out he cheated on your sister with... Listen, Mel, I didn't come up with this, I'm just passing on the message, but apparently their nickname for you is the Town Whore.
Oh my god, that's my nickname? And none of them showed up to my wedding? Ugh, this can't be happening.
So yeah, I'm just speculating, but based on what I've heard, I'd say that's a pretty likely explanation for your current situation, wouldn't you? But I could always be wrong, there are other possibilities. So you really should get some confirmation before you go off and do anything rash.
Oh my god, does everyone really hate me that much? This can't be happening. I was supposed to have a fairy tale wedding.
About an hour after our last message, a woman in a wedding dress barged past security and sprinted up the stairs to our office as if she was possessed by some kind of demonic spirit. Needless to say, the police were called. The sight of Mel yelling, "I'm here for my training!" at the top of her lungs while being restrained by the slightly embarrassed security guard she blitzed past like a whirlwind only a minute before was one I'll never forget. It turned out my theory about the wedding guests plotting to cancel on Mel and my brother at the last minute was right on the mark. Apparently realizing they were no longer going to get any wedding gifts, they canceled the wedding and incurred a massive same-day cancellation fee. That, in combination with the compensation they both already owed Mel's older sister for the affair, must have been why Mel was so desperate not to lose her new job. She was so desperate, in fact, that she completely forgot to get changed and showed up at the office flailing around like an escaped mental patient in a wedding dress. Naturally, everyone at the company was mortified by the bizarre spectacle unfolding before their eyes, and she was fired right then and there. As for Kyle, he quit the same week, unable to bear now being the butt of every joke and the subject of every hushed conversation in the cafeteria. Last I hear, Mel and Kyle are currently spending their days in a cheap cockroach-infested apartment in the rough part of town while working like dogs to pay off their exorbitant debts.